Hello and welcome back to Tech and EduSpark Hub, where technology meets education. In my last video, I showed you how to use the if and else in Python. But what if you have more than two conditions? That is where the if, elif and else comes in, and by the end of this video, you will know how to build smarter programs that make multiple decisions on their own. Stick around because once you learn this, you'll be ready to create real mini projects in Python. First of all, let's understand how the elif statement works. In our last example, we said if it is raining, take an umbrella, else just walk freely. You can see in this case we are having two conditions. But what if we have multiple conditions? Let's say we have something like if it is raining, take an umbrella, elif it is sunning, put on a cap, else just walk freely. You can see in this case we are only having three conditions and we have included the elif statement. So in our first case we said if it is raining, take an umbrella. That is one condition. On the other hand, we said elif it is sunning, put on a cap. That's the second condition. You can see the two conditions are different. And lastly, we have the else statement which doesn't take any input. And the else statement is only countering the if and the elif statement, which means if those two conditions are not true, just do this. So work freely. And this is how the elif statement works by allowing us to have multiple conditions. To practicalize this, we can just simply build an age checker program where we'll be checking the age of users to let them know if they are a child, teenager, adult, or a senior. So firstly, we can just simply prompt the user using the print function to let them know what this program is all about by telling them welcome to the age checker program. So this way the user can be aware of what this program is all about. So on the other hand, we have to get the age of the user because it is this age that we'll be checking to let them know the category of their position. So in this case, we can just simply use the input function since we'll be expecting an input from the user to ask what is your age. And to get a hold of this user input or user age, we can just simply assign these lines of code to a variable called age using the equal sign. And this way, whatever the user enter to these lines of code, we can easily get a hold of it using this variable called age. And since the user will be entering a number to these lines of code, we can simply declare these lines of code as an integer data type. So using the int function, we can declare these lines of code as an integer data type because the user will be entering a number to these lines of code. So it's not possible for the user to enter a decimal as an age. So we can just simply use the int function because the possible value the user can enter to this age variable is a whole number. And lastly, we can make the user to make the input on another paragraph by putting the backslash and the end character before the closing of our string. Don't blink because this next part is where I'll be showing you how to check their age using the multiple if, elif, and else conditional statements. Firstly, we have to write the if conditional statement to check if age is less than 13 with a colon at the back of our statement because when we click on enter, an indentation is expected on our next line because it is on this indentation that we'll be putting what we want to happen if age is less than 13. So on this case, we can just simply prompt the user by using the print function to tell the user you are a child. And this way, this age in this conditional statement is standing for whatever age that the user will enter to these lines of code. So if the age is less than 13, it will tell the user you are a child. So that is the work of this print function under this indentation. So on the other hand, we can write the elif statement to check for another condition. Notice the if and elif statements are on the same paragraph. So on this case, we can say elif age is less than 20 with a colon at the back of our statement because when we click on enter on the keyboard, an indentation is expected on our next line. And it is on this indentation that we can tell the user what we want to happen if age is less than 20. So in this case, we can just simply prompt the user by using the print function to tell the user you are a teenager. So this case, if the age that the user enter to these lines of code is less than 20, it will tell the user you are a teenager. And this is how the elif statement works. And on the other hand, remember what I said earlier. I said we can have multiple elif statements in our choices of condition to check for another condition. So in this case, you can just simply write the elif statement to check elif age is less than 60 with a colon at the back of our condition. And when we click on enter, an indentation is expected as usual. And it is on this indentation that we can prompt to the user by using the print function to tell the user you are an adult. So in this case, whatever age the user enter to these lines of code, if the age is less than 60, it will tell the user you are an adult. Notice how the if and elif statements are on the same paragraph. And lastly, we have the else statement, which doesn't take any input because it is only standing as an opposite to all these conditions, which means if all these conditions are not true, so we can just simply write else print you are a senior. So this else statement is only standing in position if all this condition is not true, which means if the user enter an age to these lines of code, if the age is not less than 13, and if the age is not less than 20, also if the age is not less than 60, it will tell the user you are a senior. And this is how the else statement works. Now we are done with our age checker program. Let's test this code by running it to check if everything is all working good. When I run this code, you can see it prompts me by telling me welcome to the age checker program, which is the work of this print function in line 1. And on the other hand, it is asking what is your age. So let's say I enter an age that is less than 13. Let me put 12 in this case. And when I click on enter, you can see it tells me that you are a child because it has checked for this age that I enter to these lines of code. And the age is less than 13, which means the condition is true in this first condition. So it is prompting me what is indented under that condition by telling me you are a child. So let's run this code again to test for the other condition. Let's say I enter an age that is lesser than 20. Let me just put 19 in this case. And when I click on enter, you can see it tells me you are a teenager, which means it has checked for this age in this first condition. And this is not true because the age is not less than 13. So it is jumping to this second block, this elif block, by checking if the age is less than 20. And this is true because the age is less than 20. So it is prompting me what is indented under this condition by telling me you are a teenager. So let's run this code again to test for the other condition. So let's say I enter an age that is lesser than 60. Let me just put 46 in this case. And when I click on enter, you can see it tells me you are an adult because it has checked for this condition in this first line, which means the age is not less than 13. So it is jumping to this second block. And checking it in this second block, you can see the age is not less than 20. So it is jumping to this third block by checking if age is less than 60. And this is true. And that is why it is prompting me what is indented under that condition. So let's run this code to test for the last condition. And when I enter an age that is maybe like greater than 60, let me just put 62 in this case. You can see when I click on enter, it tells me you are a senior because it has checked for this condition in this first block. And this is not true because the age is not less than 13. So jumping to the second condition, it is not true either because the age is not less than 20. So and the third condition is not true because the age is not less than 60. So this else statement is standing as an opposite to all these conditions. And that is why it is telling me what is indented under that condition by telling me you are a senior. And this is how the if, elif, and else conditional statement works. And that is how you can build a simple age checker program using the if, elif, and else statements in Python. Pretty cool, right? Now it is your turn to try it out with different ages and see what happens. Don't forget to like this video, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our next lesson, where we will level it up to the nested if statements and make our program even more smarter. And until then, keep learning, keep exploring, and I will see you in the next one.